What's going on, Matt Moore here? I've got Noah Watry, and we're talking about his book, The Game of Life in Poker, The Lessons I Learned on and Off the Felt. We're on Chapter 6, Click, Click, Boom. Do you want to jump in on this one, Noah? This one's going to be kind of exciting because it's talking about us really digging deep into the educational side of poker.
Yeah, totally. Really getting deep into it. So at this point in the chapter that I discuss, we were subscribing to poker magazines. We were accumulating poker books. We were watching everything on TV. There were DVDs you could get. We were just immersing ourselves so much with the game,
Oh,
as
man.
much as we could, and just learning so much, even by watching moves players made or how they bet things they said when they were in a hand, maybe to try to induce someone or trick someone. um, but basically strategy books were, you're talking 40, 50 strategy books. Anytime there was a new one we saw, we bought it.
Yeah.
We lend it to each other and read through it. Or I know you subscribed to the magazines at first. And
Yeah.
what I really liked with the magazines was that they would replay hands.
Yes.
They
That's
would
right.
talk about the blind levels. They
Yep.
talk about how much money each player had and what they put in,
Yeah.
what they bet, and then you could kind of like guess to the next page of what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then we would play like, well, how would you play that hand? Or man, what would you do in that spot? And
Yeah.
we were really trying to hit home like the little nuances of the game of poker, and just
Yeah.
kind of really study and just become that much better than your average player.
Yeah, so true. Oh my gosh, yeah, that was so much fun. I remember at work, that's all I would do, going through the
Yep, I
magazines,
remember.
and
Hmm.
then like Dan Harrington's books,
Oh,
Phil,
those are good. Yeah.
yeah, Phil Gordon, those books like really broke it down for me with pot odds and like hand ranges, and I mean those just awesome books, elevated our game totally just
And
in those 2 3 books.
yeah, and I think those are honestly the best books for beginning players to learn
Mm-hmm.
about, from Phil Gordon's books. And then Harrington almost advances it where
Yeah.
it's still I don't want to say dumbed down enough, but it's still simple enough to learn what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But you're making advanced plays. You're learning why you're playing a certain way, and it's just things that the people we would play against weren't doing.
No.
So we were just kind of taking that extra step, and then that's where we started to take some bad beats, because we'd play so well, and we started to play online, and you get to see more hands when you play online, because there's not a live dealer dealing your cards. You don't have to worry about someone spilling a drink, someone
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, hold up, I got to go to the bathroom," and it's like,
Right.
come on.
Yeah.
But you see so many more hands, and we started to take more beats, and by when I say beats, it means another player got lucky against us.
Mm-hmm.
We would have the best hand, or we'd make a great play, and somehow they'd find a way to hit their card and get lucky and beat us. And that started to kind of hit me too, though. I've never been good with taking those beats, those losses,
Yeah.
and and when we're playing, we're thinking we're supposed to win this money. We should be winning this money. We're putting in the time. We're studying when
Right.
we're at work or at school or whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
and then any chance we got, we would play. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
online then became a big thing, and you're the one that started it, actually.
Oh well, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, Poker Stars was great. That was one of the us playing with play money until we had
Mhm.
so much of
That's
it.
right.
Winning,
Yeah.
taking down those play money tournaments, I was like, we got to find a way to play for real money. And there were some loopholes back then, and we did it. And but it was a trip. And World Poker Tour, I felt like was very educational because that was like world class players and
Good.
from around the world. You got you're six-handed to start, so there's already this fair amount of action where I feel like
Mhm.
ESPN and the World Series of Poker did an awesome job telling a story and getting you attached to someone's story or their persona, whether it was Chris
Right.
Moneymaker, that was the first one for us, and then Greg Raymer, Fossilman. You have these really big moments, and they're telling a
Mhm.
story. You're following these people on these smaller hands, or one for me like Jamie Gold, where they're showing you these moments of him bluffing or table talk and all the
Right.
getting to see more about Daniel Negreanu and Mike Madison, all these different Phil Hellmuth, not to miss names because we have so many that
Yeah,
we
there are
like.
a lot of them. Big,
Yeah,
big, big stars back then.
yeah, and ESPN did a great job capturing that, doing backstories. Funny, the one poker rap, was the one guy.
Prahlad
Oh
Freeman.
my gosh, yes. And that was awesome, and it got you attached to it. Where World Poker Tour was educational, Mike Sexton breaking down hands, analyzing their play on the spot was huge. Like, oh, he must be doing this because he knows that this person plays like this, and that was huge
Yep.
for us. And
They
just sitting and watching those, just as fun.
they definitely man, good points with those. Good way to differentiate between ESPN's World Series of Poker and back then it was the Travel Channel with World
Yes.
Poker Tour. Rest in peace, Mike Sexton. I want to say that.
Yeah.
Great poker ambassador, smart mind,
Yeah.
good player, solid guy. I mean, just like a dream if you could think of a poker superstar. He was just a great guy, and watching the World Poker Tours is where I really started to kind of learn some moves and some games.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget we were at your house playing once, and then I think I checked raised you or something, and then you're like, someone learned how to play poker, and then suddenly I wasn't the fish with the beginner's luck now.
Yeah.
Suddenly I was learning about the game because for a while you were the better player. You were the one teaching me about it. I was like trying to follow you and be like, what does this mean or why are you doing this? And
Sure.
like, okay, we'd read the books and share hands and stuff, but you were the better player. You were the one I was actually chasing then at that point.
Thanks,
So
man. No, that's
funny to look back on that, but yeah.
yeah. No, and you took it and you excelled. And it's cool, kind of just going through the chapters of this and just reliving it. It's fun. It's great. It's a glimpse into, you know, more the more personal side of your life maybe that I wasn't even aware of. So it's great to have a book like this and capture all of it. And yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun. Those magazines and just I think with the magazines captured like what we were saying with ESPN in the story, and it showed us that you could be a professional poker player. These guys
Yeah.
travel along and they traveled the circuit. Like the World
Right.
Series of the circuit stuff wasn't all that televised until a little bit, later I think.
Uh-huh.
Um, but like wow, it's like and then opening up this like oh other casinos do this. Potawatomi has tournaments
Right.
or Oneida has poker. Okay, well let's go. Let's try that. And I mean,
Yeah.
it's a trip and you know, sometimes, $120 or whatever it may be, $60, like that can be a lot to 19, 20 year old, like it can be a lot of money. Where, and if it's not, we played with such passion, vigor, like that meant the world to us, winning. So, where someone's like, I don't, what's $60, dude? I make that in an hour, depending who we're
Yeah.
playing against, guys that work construction sites,
Right.
so but for us that was everything. It's like this isn't
Uh-huh.
about the $60. It's about the 3 hours I grinded, the two I drove to get here, drove two
Yeah.
hours to get here.
We would drive anywhere. We
Yeah,
would drive anywhere and play anywhere. And
yeah,
once we found out, like you said, about the casinos that would hold tournaments and
yeah,
find out, like, oh, you can go do that. You can travel there. You can go to someone's house and play. And
yeah. Oh
I
man,
remember, yeah, we would just talk
yeah,
about, man, we can't wait till the next game. We can't wait to
yeah,
go play here. And we would just look forward to that. And once we got the shot, we were gone. We'd go and play.
yeah. The rush of live poker, of the taking in the first pot you win legitimately, like seeing a river, showing your hand and it's the best and you win. Successful
Ah,
bluff.
best.
Yeah, like I
Oh man,
getting
you're
someone to the
really
river to
getting me
call
now
like
here. You're really making me. I mean, I might
oh,
when I go to bed tonight. I'm probably gonna fire up some old World Poker Tours.
that'd be cool.
I'm
Yeah,
talking like the classic first couple seasons. Those
yeah,
are still my favorite ones.
nice. Yeah, those are some really good ones. Where like
But
learning about Antonio Esfandiari and like these these people like oh my
yep,
god, Phil
magician Gus
Phil Locke.
Hansen.
Yeah, Phil
Phil
Locke.
Locke, he was the
Yeah.
character. Oh
Oh
man,
my
see, they
gosh.
made poker fun,
Yeah,
and poker needed those characters, those superstars
yeah,
that got the everyday man into the game, which is what basically almost all of us were,
yeah,
who had dreams of saying, yeah, I do want to travel and play poker.
yeah.
and that was just our start of how we thought we could do it. So
Yeah, yeah. It was a way
great.
to, hey, way to have control over the lottery. This isn't like buying a scratch off, right? It was like, you know what? I'm gonna make you think I have a bad hand, and at the end of it, I'm gonna have the best. Things like that are just, yeah, it's so
Yeah,
much
and
fun. So,
so much mind games into it, so much
yeah.
that we got basically and kind of touched on in this chapter of the book.
Hmm.
And that's just how we kind of learned. So
Yeah.
I think that'll wrap this one up.
Yeah, that was really good. And then as far as a lesson, what do you come away with that one too? Is you
Well,
do.
with chapter 6, the lesson on that one, I know I kind of mentioned it earlier, but it was you do the crime, you do the time, because unfortunately, while poker was booming for me, poker was awesome for us. That relationship with Rose was faltering, and I could not keep up with the demand. And as much as we would make playing poker, I would go and spend it twice as fast, and ultimately ended up losing everything. All those materialistic items that I had, gone, sold off, lost the place that I was staying at, and she got into some trouble too, and ended up getting locked up as well. So like I state though, you have to take what comes to you as a man. You do the crime, you do the time. So good and the bad.
Yeah, kind of a darker note to end on, but that's
Mm,
what kind of keeps this one so emotional, man. This book in and of itself. So it really does set people up for chapter 7 once we dive into it.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for checking this one out.
See ya.